everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of We're Down South. With me is Dan Humphrey. We've just watched possibly one of the worst ever results in Sunderland's history. There has been worse, but today is probably one of the most frustrating we've ever seen. Dan, just start us off on what you thought, please.
I've absolutely no idea how we have not won that game. That's my first reaction. Completely dominated them in the first half, all over them, shot after shot after shot. But once again, not taking the chances, not being on top when we get given the opportunity, and we just let them back into it at the end. And it's just same old. Nothing's changed.
That's it. Doncaster, Doncaster, I thought were absolutely rubbish for like the most of the game, and I don't think they were anything special. Honestly, they didn't threaten us in any way, shape, or form. They came forward like twice, had 2 shots off target, and then right at the end, Flanagan commits himself to a challenge. The attacker turns, and it's just a bit of a mess, really. And somehow they scramble the ball into the goal. At no point did they ever take one of our defenders on, beat them, and I don't think in any point of the game did they have a good moment in the game. And the goal was the scrappiest thing you've ever seen.
Didn't have to make one save the whole game.
I know it's dreadful, but we don't want to get too into the reactions because obviously this channel is what that's all about. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the players. But Dan, can you just tell us what you thought of the starting lineup before the game?
I was pretty happy with the starting lineup. Flanagan coming back in and McLaughlin as well. Yeah. I think they've been underrated performers this season in our defence, because I think we missed them a lot last week. With the reshuffle, we had 09 in there. I just didn't like this. It was just, you could tell he was struggling. So they came back in. I thought, all right, we got back probably our first choice defence, bar Willis when he's injured, and Powell on the bench again, which I liked. anything but him. But I was happy with the lineup. Maguire back in. I thought he did well, but yeah, maybe Embleton could have started, but again, he's not played too many minutes, so you can't really complain about that. But yeah.
Yeah, obviously there was a few little surprises where, well, not really surprises, but George Dobson completely thrown out the squad, and also Aidan O'Brien completely out the squad. But I did think there was a little bit of an injury that he had. That was said in Phil Parkinson's press conference. But still, I thought we put out a team that could win the game. And to be honest with you, if we just defended a little bit better in the last 30 fucking seconds, we would have got 3 points. Anyway, so we're going to go through obviously the players first. So Remy Matthews, what do we think of Remy Matthews today?
Didn't do anything wrong because he didn't have anything that he could have done wrong.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His kicking was good. I thought literally that's all about what he did. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that was, it was just his kicking really. That was all right. I think a few times the ball did come back to him. He was under a little bit of pressure, but he dealt with it well. Didn't put a foot wrong for me. So I think, what would you give him out of 10?
7 probably, just average.
Yeah. All right. Well, because he didn't keep a clean sheet, I think I'll give him a 5 or a 6. I'll give him a 5 because it's such a shit result. Right. Next one, Conor McLaughlin.
I thought we did pretty well, to be fair to the lad.
Yeah.
I think he's been this season. He's shown us his best performance in our Sunday shirt, definitely. Because the first season or 2 seasons he was here, he was terrible. This season he's not done anything special, but he's just done the basics well, I think. So yeah, same again today, really.
Yeah, I thought he was quite solid today, to be honest with you. I was watching my dad too. My dad is very, very, very critical of all the players in the squad. I mean, they could they could literally win the Ballon d'Or, and he'd still find loads of ways to criticise them. But even he even said, I thought Conor McLaughlin has been quite solid today, and has done quite well. And I thought that too. So, what do you think out of 10 for Conor McLaughlin?
I'd give him a 7 or 8. I reckon.
I
One
reckon.
of our best. One of the best performers today.
Yeah. Okay. I reckon. I reckon we'll give him a 7. I reckon we'll give him a 7. I reckon we'll give him a 7 just for today because we're being nice. And
Solid.
I think, he's a lot better than last season as well. And should be a good player for us for the rest of the season. But I think the rest of the team let him down at the end, to be honest. Bailey Wright, the next one. What do you make of Bailey?
Obviously, he's been one of our best performers for this season, definitely. And he's been as solid as a rock. But today didn't exactly stand out for me.
No.
And at the end with the goal, we could have sort of miskicked it. He could have just cleared it away.
He slipped, didn't he? He tried to clear it, and he just slipped over.
Made a mess of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bailey Wright is quite quiet for a lot of the game. I didn't really notice him, but that was partly because Doncaster didn't threaten us in any way. But towards the end,
he didn't exactly have much to do.
Yeah, he didn't, and I thought towards the end he handled it quite well. He organised the defenders quite well, but it's just that moment at the end. I can't get away from that. Obviously, he's had a bit of a dip in form the last few games, though. I've got to say for Bailey Wright, but today I thought he was quite solid when he was called upon. But apart from that fucking slip at the end, which is. So what would you give Bailey?
Probably a 6.
Yeah. We'll probably say 6 because we can't forget as well. Although we did draw the game, overall we did perform quite well. I think the first half.
First half especially.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, if we'd been a little bit more, clinical with our chances, we could have easily been maybe 3-0 up in the first half. But I think, some crosses into the box. We'll get onto that in a minute. But so I think the team did hold up quite well, and he's obviously the captain today. I think he did quite a good job. Next one. Sometimes he's flappy, sometimes he's fantastic. Today, I don't really know. He was a bit of both today, wasn't he? Tom Flanagan.
Oh God. Again, consistent. I think he's an underrated player in our team because you don't really notice him often, but that's a good thing, I guess, because it means he's not normally making many mistakes. And again today, he's just solid. But at the end, he got turned by the man, and ultimately that ball's cost us. But one mistake, you can't really fault him too much. To be fair to the lad, I think he's done pretty well this season.
Exactly. I don't think you can expect footballers to go through an entire game and not make a mistake. And I think he dealt with the game quite well. He was quite solid. But yeah, just that moment at the end, which I think did let him down. But yeah, no, I think he played well. Passed the ball forwards quite a lot of the time. Played quite well down the left. But yeah, so what do you think out of 10 for Tom?
Probably 6 again, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. There was that chance as well where I think can't remember, it might have been Gooch who crossed it in the box, and he just had that chance to sort of head it in. But I think,
he headed it straight over, did he?
Yeah. So he did all right there, but I think just that chance at the end. But I think his overall game was quite decent. So giving Tom Flanagan a 6 out of 10. All right, next one is definitely the sexiest player in the league, if not the entire EFL, if not the entire country. Luke O'Nien. What did you make of him today?
What a man. I thought he was brilliant today, to be honest with you. Back in his normal, well, not normal position, because obviously we bought him as a midfield, but back in his preferred position, I think.
Yeah, he's doing.
And I think everything was happening down that right hand side of him and Maguire. I thought they were the start of every attack for us. They were the two key players for us today, and probably the two best players for us today as well.
Yeah, he did
So
take
I think he did very well.
yeah, I think he did as well. I think he did take a big blow to the back of his head um, in the
But he's
first
never
half.
going to come off.
No, he's never going to come off. But I think that did take. I did notice sometimes that I think that maybe did take a little bit out of him. Thinking maybe he could be suffering with a bit of concussion because he just didn't. I don't think he seemed right in how he was playing. I think his reaction sometimes was a little bit slow, but I think he did the best he possibly could. To be honest, down the right hand side, yeah, he's definitely become a better player. You know, over the past
Yeah,
few seasons, I think he's sort of grown up a lot more as a footballer in a Sunderland shirt. I mean, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Luke O'Nien.
happy birthday, Luke.
Yeah, so yeah, obviously he signed when he was obviously 23 years old. And if you look at him, look at what he looked like when he first signed, and to now, it looks like he's just grown into a man now. Um,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, he's definitely developed, and yeah, it's just a shame. I think all these players, like, they're really unlucky not to win today because I think they deserved it in how they played. But
Yeah, I agree,
obviously,
100%.
that moment at the end, there's going to be a lot of criticism heading to the manager now. But yeah, I think going back to Luke O'Nien, I think he did a solid job for what he could do. So, what would you give him out of 10?
I would probably give him a 7, I reckon.
All right, we'll say 7. So,
Because especially first half, I thought he was brilliant.
yes, yeah, I think he was as well. I mean, he couldn't believe it when Grant scored. He just had his head
On his head.
on his head. He was just looking. He was like, "What was that all about?" All right. So then, finishing off in the defence, we have Denver Hume. What do you make of Denver?
Um, Such a tough one.
Mm,
He does some amazing things, but he just does some terrible things as well.
yeah,
You know, he's so good. He's so good driving at the ball, getting past players, 1-2s, getting the positions. And then it's just, for me, the final ball is just not good enough from him.
yeah,
Too many balls. Either not, like, I think there was one in the first half. He could have cut it back to Maguire, just straight at the defender.
yeah,
Just not in the right area. Sometimes just straight at the goalie. And I think if he worked on that side of his game, and he'd be even better than he is, because obviously he's still a very good player and he's one of our main threats going forward. But I just think that final ball is what's lacking.
yeah. I agree with you there. I think every time he comes in and tries to cross the ball, instead of actually getting the ball along the line, he sort of drags it back. And when he drags the ball
Yeah,
back, there's usually no one there, and it goes straight to a defender. And I think every time he gets, I mean, I could count maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 times each half, he'll get that ball into the box, and it will always go to a defender. If that goes to a player, you've got, I don't know, you've got a good chance of maybe scoring or getting a good shot away. And every time those chances go, you're less likely to score. But yeah, I think that part of his game, sometimes he looks without crossing as well. He just sort of has the ball, and it's just his instinct to just kick the ball in the box, and he doesn't really look up and see,
yeah,
oh, where's
yeah,
Charlie, where's Chrissy. You know, it's just get the ball in the box, and a lot of the time the ball goes to no one, and that happened today quite a few times. But yeah, no, I thought he was okay.
He is crossing to Charlie, who's not exactly the most.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
So
I mean,
if he was crossing to Josh Madger, I think if he was crossing to Josh Madger, I think it'd be a different story.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, anyway,
absolutely.
move on to the next player, I guess.
Yeah, he probably had like 10 assists this season, wouldn't he, Denver Hume, if he had a better striker to pass to. But anyway, so what would we give
Yeah,
Denver Hume out of 10?
6 probably, 5 or 6.
I'd say I'm going to give him a 5 today.
Yeah,
A very average performance. We come on today now to our goal scorer, Grant Ledbetter.
oh,
What a strike that was! Honestly, I screamed. I like lost my voice. I was just clapping my hands so hard, like they just started
I hear.
stinging. But what a strike that was!
Absolute worldie. Giving the goal this season already, I tell you.
I know that was brilliant. But what do you think of his all-round play?
Just same old, brilliant. I think Without him, we'd be struggling this season. He
Yeah,
just does all the basic things. He gets the ball, he turns, he gives it out. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything like unbelievable, but obviously he did today. But he just gives it. He keeps the ball moving, and he does try and go forwards, unlike Power and buckets. But yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought Grant Ledbetter, he was very solid today. Um, passed the ball very well. Didn't really give away the ball that many times, and of course that strike was unreal. One of the best I've seen. And that's I think it's his first goal from open play now for Sunderland after coming back, and I think that's definitely one of his best
yeah,
in Sunderland shirt, along with the one obviously against Arsenal at home. Also one against
yeah.
Southampton away, but yeah, no, he's got a good shot on him. But yeah, Grant Ledbetter, what would you say out of 10?
7 or 8 for me. Might give him 8 for the goal, just because of what a strike it was.
All right, I think. All right, we'll give him an 8 because of the goal. If he didn't score,
Yeah, exactly. That's
maybe a
what I mean.
7. Yeah, all right, we'll give him an 8 because of the goal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now his midfield partner, Josh Scowan, just Josh. What did you think of him today?
It's probably his better games this season. I thought
Yeah.
he wasn't brilliant, but first half I thought he was pretty good. He got
Mm.
stuck in, but again, he loves a foul, doesn't he? For no reason.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
just like,
That's the thing. I think we've got a little bit of a disciplinary problem because we're giving away these silly free kicks like throughout the pitch, like halfway line, just places where we don't need to commit a foul. And even Gooch as well. Like last week against MK Dons, gave away that ridiculous free kick that led to a goal in the end. I think that's something Danny Collins he talks about during commentary where he says, there's just these silly free kicks being given away by these Sunderland players, and I think Josh was guilty of that today. But no, I think all round he did all right. He gave the ball away. I did see him give the ball away a few times, but then again, League One players, aren't they? But apart from that, I thought
yeah,
he was fairly solid. I think he's on free kicks now and corners, and the thing is I see him put these free kicks in, and they just they go to no one. On the
yeah,
corners, they just
goal
go to
kick.
no one.
Just goes for a goal kick every time.
I just said, I was like, he got a free kick, and I was like, this is just going to go over all of them and go out for a goal kick, and it did. It's just that you're in the, if we get a free kick, a corner, that's a brilliant chance to get the ball in the
They,
box, a good delivery for a goal.
when they do those bloody short corners as well, that drives you mad.
Oh yeah, as well. We had that. We had a free kick, and he could have put it in the box, and he put it along
Yeah.
to like Conor McLaughlin, I think, and then he put it back to
Oh,
Ledbetter, and he
yeah,
nearly
yeah.
lost it. And if he lost it, all the defenders went up
He was
for
through.
the free kick, and he would have been through. Like I don't see the point of that. Why are you doing that? Get the ball in the box and
That was
use two
comical.
defenders. You know.
Tell you what, my dad was shouting at that point.
Oh
Jesus.
my God.
It
I
was.
just.
That was just, you've got to laugh sometimes, haven't you? Because that was just comical. That 10 seconds of play. I mean, jeez.
Honestly, my blood pressure is going through the roof. Watching this flipping game, man. It's not even coming down now because I'm talking about it. But I'm about to have a heart attack in a minute, so you're gonna have to call an ambulance to my house. So, Josh Scowen, what would you give him out of 10 today?
We're 6, I reckon.
I give him a 5 for nearly making me have a fucking heart attack when he took that free kick. All right, so next one, we've got Chris Maguire, who I think he came off
Brilliant.
about 80 minutes or something like that. Or not too sure.
81, yeah, 81 minutes.
Yeah, go on. You tell us about the King.
Best player on the pitch today for me.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in and out of the team this season. He hasn't been as sharp, and I think he's been a bit unfit as well, to be honest with you. But today he was by far our main threat throughout the whole game, especially in the first half. He was dropping deep, getting the ball, giving it going. He was making everything happen. It was all coming from him. So I thought he was probably our best player today for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got to remember now is he what, like 32 years old or something like that? And I think there's only
Yeah, he's
so
getting
much
on,
of,
isn't
yeah, but he's obviously still got that quality, and there's only so much of the game where
Yeah,
it gets that certain point where he doesn't give the same amount of quality as he did maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes earlier. But yeah, I still think he did well today. Um,
you can tell. You can tell with him though that he's actually one of the few players we have who's actually got a bit of footballing ability,
yeah,
that natural talent with the ball and what he does with it.
he just
Not
knows what
just
he's
throwing
doing.
lumps.
He knows
Yeah,
what he's doing. It's like Denver
got a
Hume.
good got a
Yeah,
good brain,
is it?
footballing
Yeah,
brain. He has.
it's like him and Grant Ledbetter. It's just that experience and the football intelligence where they're on the pitch. I think they can read the game quite well. And it's not like their game isn't erratic. Like, it's like the younger players like Jack Diamond and Denver Hume, where they sort of get the ball and just run. And and I see a lot of Flanagan giving Denver Hume a right bollocking. Do you know what I mean?
Flanagan looking around like this,
I know.
bloody out.
Yeah, that's what he does.
It.
Yeah, that's a very good impression. To be fair, should go on Britain's Got Talent. Yeah,
Oh, is there a ball? Is there a ball there? Oh,
it,
maybe I should go and tackle him. Maybe.
yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, no. So Chris Maguire, as you say, I think he was quite solid today, and he came off when they scored. So yeah, he contributed
Yeah,
his part to the game. So what would you give him out of 10?
probably an 8 for me because that's probably the highest we've given someone, isn't it?
Given
Or maybe.
Grantley an eight. I think if Maguire scored, I think we would have given him an 8. Um, but I think
You're harsh, mate. You're very harsh. You are.
so. Yeah, well, we didn't win. We didn't win. If we won,
Yeah.
I'd be sitting here with my top off and everything, and I'd be so happy. But right now, I've just watched something like equalise against Doncaster Rovers with 30 seconds to go, so I'm not too pleased at the moment. So yeah, Chris Maguire,
Yeah, I'll get
7,
your point. I'll get your
7. I think
point.
is
I'm quite a positive.
yeah. Obviously, but if you like when I'm me living with my dad and him watching him be very critical of the players but my dad he's intelligent in like football as well, and he sees these players
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he obviously notices these things, and I
They
think
know the score, don't they?
yeah, exactly. I mean, he's old. I mean, I have to start planning his funeral soon because I think something's going to take his life with a fucking heart attack as well. To be fair, because this is honestly the,
You're gonna have to plan yours as well.
the mental health, the mental health right now for something fans. I mean, we should, I think Paul on him, who's the creator of the channel, he said we need to start a movement called Macam Lives Matter because watching these football games, they're actually full on knocking years off our lives. Honestly, every game, I think every 90 minutes I watch, that's 90 minutes, off my life in the future. But yeah, so
Wasted.
I know. Anyway, right, we're nearly there. Now we come on to the Californian Messi, Lyndon Gooch. What did you make of Gucci?
Actually, I thought last week he was absolutely terrible
Yeah,
against MK Dons. But then again, I don't really get why you playing right wing back. But another story. It's a bit more forward today, and
yeah, he was. Yeah,
playing in his actual positions. And I think he did a lot better today. Than he was busy, had a few shots, but he gave the ball away less. To be fair, last week he was fouling and giving the ball away constantly.
yeah, that's what he does because the thing is with him, he's not the best player in the world. And what he does is when he like loses the ball like really bad, you think, God, that is rubbish. What he does is he throws himself on the floor. He does two things.
Yeah.
He throws himself on the floor and pretends he's just been shot. And then the other thing he'd do is just go and foul the player immediately, do something like that, or pick a fight with someone. Him and Honeyman, they love to do that. Pick a fight
Oh
with
yeah,
someone.
today. Did you see their winger, the Belgian winger? I think he dived and then the ref didn't give it or something. And Gooch shouted in his face. I quite like that for him. To be fair,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was fired up.
yeah. He is a bit of a fiery character, but I don't think he would be as fiery if I mean, I'd rather let his feet do the talking than his mouth. To be fair, on the football pitch, but still, I think Gooch
Fair
he
enough.
got a few good crosses in, but I think his all-round game a little bit. He's always going to be like this because he was like this last season. I think he is not the best footballer in the world. Well, he certainly isn't. But I mean, he's not. I don't think he's as good as people say he is. Maybe he'll come up with in a game with a really good goal, which is fair enough. But his all-round game, he gives the ball away. I think quite a lot. He misplaces loads of passes a lot. But I think obviously again we're in League One, so if when we do get out of League One at the end of this season, fingers crossed, I don't think Gooch is a player I'd like to keep for the Championship. But for now, I think he's all right for this league. But remember,
He's got.
sorry,
Go on.
go on. You speak.
I was just gonna. I think his contract runs out in 2022, so he's got another year
2022,
after this.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it is. But maybe we can sell him at the end of the season and get a bit of money. But obviously after Grant Ledbetter scored that screamer, Gooch tried to do it, and I think he kicked the ball out the stadium. To be honest,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
still rising now. Look, I can see it. It's still going now.
It's just come over it. It's just coming over Essex now, away from Doncaster. He's kicked it to America.
Gee, man.
He did catch. Right. So Lyndon Gooch, out of 10.
5 or 6.
Five,
6
five,
at best.
five. You got me on the 5. Also today for him as well, he got another assist.
Oh yeah, what an assist! Well done, Gooch.
I mean, he tried about 6 times to try and get a shot when he thought, "No, fuck this, can't do it." So
Best assist of the season for me. That was.
Yeah, it was. They just laid it off to Grant. I think that's what it's like. I don't know how many. I think that's his 4th assist now this season, something like that. I'm not too sure.
4th or 5th, yeah, something like that.
4th or 5th, yeah, something like that. Okay, so that's Lyndon Gooch out of the way. Now we come on to the last person who's in our starting lineup today. One of the worst strikers. It's not the worst. Well, maybe not as bad as Grigg or James Vaughan. But Charlie Wyke. What did we think of Charlie Wyke today? I know,
Terrible.
but I give him the ball and he'll miss every time. Right.
He's just absolutely clueless sometimes. Sometimes he looks like he's a fan who's won a competition, to play Sunderland. Honestly, he's got no movement about him.
Yeah.
The balls are coming in the box. He just stands there, waits for the ball to come to him, while the defenders are heading it away.
Absolutely. I think the ball comes to him.
Like, what are you doing?
This is 2 things he does when he's trying to do like an aerial duel with someone. Remy Matthew's just taken a goal kick. Ball's coming over. He'll either not jump and try and get to the defender to foul him, or he'll jump, but then he'll put his head like that, and the ball will go over it. And I'm like, why have you done that? You're meant to fucking head the thing. Do you know what I mean? You're meant to head the ball, and he's just, I don't know what he's doing. But again, if we get promoted, he's one player I don't think we should keep.
Oh my God!
But in all fairness to him, he's been a lot better this season than the previous.
Yeah,
obviously,
definitely.
Scored a few more goals, but I think one thing I couldn't understand is Lyndon Gooch did the SAFC Unfiltered podcast. Did you listen to that?
Yeah, I did.
And he described Charlie Wyke in a way of Charlie Wyke like bullies the defenders, and he tackles for the ball, and he gets the ball out wide and sets us up. I don't quite know.
As if it's like Romelu Lukaku or someone.
Has he been watching Charlie Wyke in his dreams or something? Because when I see Charlie Wyke in real life, I do not see him bullying defenders and getting these brilliant balls through. But Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Charlie Wyke over any other striker, to be fair, at the moment, because Will Grigg can't even. He's allergic to scoring.
He's the
Um,
best. He's the best of a very, very, very bad bunch.
absolutely, absolutely agree. And I don't know what it is of this club where we feel like we have to sign players who can't, strikers who can't score. But there you go. There's another one. He's just a bit of a meme, really, isn't he? Like we're all singing these songs about him, like Peterborough
We,
Way. You know, like 2 seasons ago, I walk in and everyone's in there singing the C Senor song. I'm like, this is fantastic. You know, then he gets put through 1-on-1. Catamol puts him through 1-on-1, and we're like, "Go on, Charlie, go on!" We're like, "This could be his moment," and he just completely misses the target. And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
yeah,
You know, this guy. But I don't know. But that's his. He's not going to get better than League One, to be honest with you.
no way.
This is the highest league he's going to play at. But he seems to have some sort of thing with Phil Parkinson going on. I think they've been breaking the lockdown rules and going to each other's houses. And I think don't ask me, it's what I've been told. Anyway,
One thing I would say about White though is fair play to Parky for giving him a consecutive amount of games, because I know as a striker myself, there's nothing worse than one game you don't score, then you get taken off, or you don't play, or you're on the bench next game, or you need he's not gonna score every game. He's not bloody
mm,
Aguero.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
but
fair play
yeah,
for sticking by him.
yeah. I think just the way he plays, he wants to play that big man up top. And I think you got to remember as well, Parkinson isn't so much an attacking manager, and this is what a lot of people get frustrated with, because when they watch Sunderland play, they always want attacking football. But I think if we had a manager who's a bit more clued up with the attacking side of things, we'd sort of have a different mindset of we're going to play two strikers, little man, or little man, big man. But I think with Phil Parkinson, he's just like, get the defence sorted. We'll stick a big guy up there and he'll set off Maguire and Gooch. And that's what pretty much we've been doing. And last season, I think Maguire scored 10, Gooch scored 10, and White scored like 4 or something like that.
For
So, yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's not going to be the most attractive football, and that role that Parkinson wants to play of the striker, I think it's best suited to Wyke, because Will Grigg if you're going to put Will Grigg as a target man, it's just going to go over his head every time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but for Charlie Wyke today, what would you give him out of 10?
4.
All right, we'll give him a 4 today. So our starting lineup. So we've got Remy Matthews in goal. We've given him a 5. Conor McLaughlin a 7. Bailey Wright a 6. Tom Flanagan a 6. Luke O'Nien 7. Grant Idbitter 8. Josh Scowen 5. Denver Hume 5. Chris Maguire 7. Linda Gooch 5. And Charlie Wyke a 4. I've dropped my pen. So if you're going to pick a man of the match, who would you say?
Maguire or Ledbetter for me. I might give it to Ledbetter because of the strike.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's one of the best goals I've seen for a while.
All right. So we'll say Grant Ledbetter for the man of the match. Obviously, we did bring on Elliot Embleton and Max Power. I think Embleton got about 10 minutes to play. Power got, I think he brought Power on just to settle the game down and try and see it out. But obviously,
they scored.
I was watching the SAFC Fan TV live stream, and Sean Middleton said, I knew as soon as Max Power came on that pitch, as soon as he came on, we were going to concede. Which I don't really know if it was Max Power's fault, but there you go. So if you're going to give Elliot Embleton and Max Power a square out of 10, what would you say?
5.
5, yeah. I think, yeah, that's just average, really. I mean, I don't think they could have done any more, to be fair. Elliot Embleton tried to come on, look a bit lively. But yeah, if he had a bit more of the game,
Yeah,
Parkinson obviously
he
stops
had a
getting
nice,
better
he
now.
had a good shot.
Yeah, yeah, he did that. He just dragged that one a little bit wide, but yeah, it's good to see that he's got the confidence in that to take on the shot, obviously. But yeah, so I mean that's that with the team. But after seeing today's game, I mean, this match today was the sort of the deciding factor for fans whether they were wanted to keep Parkinson or not. So what would you say today?
Um, I guess obviously he's not my first choice manager. He's probably going to be Parky out now for me.
Yeah,
But I don't see it happening, to be honest with you. I don't think he will get sacked
no, I don't.
unless
Yeah,
unless the matey boy Louis comes in with his billions.
yeah,
They might want to change it all up, but again, I doubt that will happen either anytime soon. If I'm honest with you.
yeah, exactly.
Until it's done and the club announce it, then I'll not believe anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know everyone's saying everything, and I think at the moment, I mean, we're not going to sack the manager now. I think if we were going to lose today or play bad, but you got to remember as well, we played quite solid today, played all right, and I don't
One thing
think
I would say as well, there's only so much the manager can do at the end of the day as well.
yeah
Like you can't silly fouls, mistakes. You can't do anything about it. Do you know what I
mm,
mean? I think not so much today, but the last few weeks we've lost from a stupid free kick given away, stupid penalty given away,
yeah
and no matter if you've got Pep Guardiola or Phil Parkinson managing you, then you can't. It's what you can do. Do you know what I mean? It's the players have to take some responsibility as well for what they're doing. And
yeah
ultimately, I just don't
absolutely.
think our players are very good. Do you know what I mean?
hmm Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could have won today, and that moment at the end, if that didn't happen, then I don't think anyone would be saying Parkinson out because I think afterwards they would have gone, well, that was a great, we played well, we won the game. What else? We're not going
Yeah,
to say Parkinson out now, but just because that moment at the end where one little bad decision from a player and Bailey Wright slipped over, if Bailey Wright stayed on his feet and cleared that, then there wouldn't be any Parkinson out at the moment. I don't think after this game, there's not going to be any attractive football. It's just going to be, it's just going to be defend, 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 get a lucky goal, and try and win the game. And you know,
and if you think about it, yeah, if he gets sacked, who's going to come in anyway? Do you know what I mean? Who's going to want to come to us at this point in the worst
yeah,
point in our club's history?
yeah,
Who's going to want to take that? Who's going to want to be here? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Unless you're a Sunderland fan or a Sunderland player, like it's just
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot been spoken about for the manager position, obviously, and I think everyone's saying Kevin Phillips, and I think Kevin Phillips might have been a good option if he came in at the start just before the season started. So he had the whole of pre-season. He had everything there that he could work with. But bringing him in now mid-season is a massive job to take, and this is the most important moment in this club's history. And if we don't go up this season, then God knows what's going to happen. So to have, we need to have a settled squad with a settled manager. But I'm just saying that I'm not the biggest fan of Parkinson. I hate the fact that he's frozen
no.
McGeady out. That keeps me up at night. Um, if
Hashtag free McGeady.
hashtag free McGeady, yeah, free McGeady. I don't know what he's done. I don't know what he's done personally. Um, Yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan of Parkinson, obviously. I don't think anyone is. If we get into the championship, he's certainly someone I do not want to keep. So I want him gone very quickly. But to get out of League One, I think he might be an all right option just to have.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up pretty well, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, next week, obviously, well, with this Friday coming up, we've got who is it?
Fleetwood.
Fleetwood away. Yeah, Joey Barton as of course, the Fleetwood manager. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think Parkinson's staying, and if he doesn't get a result against Fleetwood, then I think a lot more pressure is going to be put on the manager.
Tell you what, he's lucky. It's lucky there's a virus going on at the moment, because if there's fans in the stadium, I tell you, he'd be getting absolutely peppered.
Absolutely, and Stuart Donald as well. Can you imagine? Honestly, but you know, when we go to Northampton away on the 2nd of January, and we're going to be there, and if he's still there, we're going to be singing the McGeady song, because we want McGeady back, and you know, hopefully that should be good. That should be good if we go. But yeah, no. So I think we've covered everything, Dan, haven't we? I don't think there's anything else we could go through from today. And of course, I thank everyone for watching. If you've stick through for this long, one thing I would say is just very quickly is when we did say that this was going to be starting as a sort of a weekly thing, we may throw in a few episodes midweek, just depending on how we're feeling. Obviously, there's a lot of ideas we want to throw in and do, because this is something me and Dan have been wanting to do for quite a while. There have been a few people saying to me straight away that they want to get involved as well, which is fantastic. Of course, it's great for people to say that before we've even done a video. What I'd say as well is that's great, thank you very much, but just bear with us while we can get our first few episodes out and just see which direction that we're going in, and then we can look to bring in some people on the show, which is something we definitely want to do in the future. But yeah, no, I thank everyone for watching. Make sure you like the video, do everything to the channel, kiss the channel, hug the channel, do whatever you want to it. Make it happy, make us happy, and have a good night. Away the lads.